Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. It is me, Desiree, and today we're going to be talking about a very beautiful highlighter that I purchased, and it is from Dior. This is the Dior Forever Couture Luminizer Highlighter Powder. I have the shade 2. It is in Nude Glow, and they describe this as a radiant bronze. So I purchased this during the Sephora VIB sale, so I did get it for 20% off, but still it was $48, so I think that's a lot for a highlighter, but I just had to have it. This was something I had on my loves list for a long time. I always wanted to try one of the Dior highlighters, but they discontinued all of them, and I think these are the things that have replaced them. I really wish I had tried the other one so I can compare this to that and see if the new formula or the new product they brought out is comparable to that one, but I don't have experience with that formula. So the packaging is very pretty. It's a light kind of blushy ivory, and the top of the compact has a little bit of a cushion, and it has the really nice logo. Like, it looks really nice. Definitely what I expected for the price point. You do get a full-size mirror, and then of course your beautiful pan of highlighter. They describe this as a radiant bronze, and I went with this shade because even though it's described as that, the swatches on the website, it doesn't look that dark. So I thought this would be a really nice kind of nude highlighter. And I really wish I had picked a different color, just because now that I have it, I feel like I can see when I put it on my face. I am going to demo it for you. I also have some comparisons and some products I feel are very, very similar. So if you were wanting to get this because you think it's gonna be the best formula in the world, I do have some others that I think are on par, if not a little bit better. So let's put this on, shall we? I am gonna swatch it first, actually. I was really worried about swatching this because just the way that it feels, I thought it was gonna get a hard pan right away, but it hasn't gone hard pan at all. It is a really firmly pressed highlighter, so anytime I've dipped in with the brush, or just now as I'm swatching, it doesn't really kick up a lot of powder everywhere. It's a really beautiful formula. So here is that swatch there. It has this really amazing glow, but it almost is also like a delicate kind of glow on the skin. It doesn't look glittery or shimmery, there's no shimmer at all. Somehow they just got this to be a really beautiful satin finish, and it's just really, really nice. But as you can see an undertone to the highlighter, and I feel like on my face you can see it here, so it kind of looks like a brown spot that I put right here. So I don't know, I just wish I had picked a different color just for my preferences, but this looks so nice brushed over the bronzer that I put on. So I'm not gonna put that on today because I do want to demo just the highlighter section, or where I would normally put highlighter on my face, but just because of the nature of this color, it looks really, really pretty, kind of dusted over bronzer, and I just really like it that way because it adds this nice little satin glow without being too much. It doesn't look like I brushed highlighter all over my bronzer. It just looks like I put on a really beautiful satin finishing powder or something. So yeah, there's that. Let me go ahead and put this on. Let me get a clean brush. Let's use this one here. This is the Real Techniques Angled Highlighter Brush. I'm just gonna get a little bit on my brush, and as I said earlier, it doesn't kick up any powder. It's really nicely pressed in here, so your compact is not gonna get all messed up, and you're gonna pull out this $50 highlighter and it's gonna be a big mess. So I do like that touch. Let me zoom in first. I am just going to kind of press it onto my face and then kind of buff it in. I don't know, just kind of my preferred method, I guess. I don't really know why I'm doing it like that. So it is just, it's so pretty. It's a really pretty color. But in certain lighting, I don't know, I could just see a dark streak there, but it might just be that I am overusing it as well. But with this kind of the way that it goes on, it's hard not to want to put a lot, But here you go. You can see it there. Oh, it's really, really pretty, really radiant without looking like a highlighter. No matter how close I get to my skin, I cannot see the actual powder on my skin. It somehow just like melts and becomes one with the makeup that you have on, and you can't see it sitting there at all. Like not one speck of powder is going to be visible even close up on my face. It is a really wonderful formula, and they definitely got a lot of technology in this kind of a powder. I think I may have overdone it on that side. Let me see. I feel like I put on a little too much on that side. I just got excited. And this is why I wish I had picked a different shade, because I feel like I have to be a little bit careful with this color on my skin tone, because it can kind of start looking like a bronze highlighter. Not that I can see the powder, but it's just like the undertone to it. I don't know, maybe you could kind of see it in the lighting a little bit. Maybe here. I don't know. I just wish I had one I could be a little more carefree with. But that being said, it is very, very pretty. It's glowy without looking like highlighter sitting on your skin. The formula is really wonderful on this highlighter. Like it's amazing. I do want to try another shade just to kind of compare and see what the other ones are like. And I did go through my entire highlighter collection, because when I first swatched this and put it on, I thought this was going to be the exact same thing as the Essence Pure Nude highlighter, just because they kind of have the same little undertone. Like this one, the Essence one, has like a brown kind of coloring to it. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like it's a tan highlighter. I think it would look really pretty on tan skin tones, but on me it looks like a nice satin finishing powder, but the tone isn't correct for my skin. So I kind of thought these were going to be identical. They're not, and it's actually what made me feel like the Essence one is actually a finishing powder and not a highlighter, just because when I put them next to each other, oh, you know what? They look very similar. The one right here is Dior, and this one right here is Essence. Oh, the sun's moving in the clouds, so sorry about that. But you know what? Those look very similar in tone, but when I look at them here and not in the camera, the Dior one does have a little bit more of a highlighter quality to it, if that makes sense. You could tell it's a highlighter, and the Essence one looks like a concentrated swatch of a finishing powder. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but that is the comparison between those two. I also pulled out a couple of other ones that I thought the tone might be the same, or the finish on the skin might be the same, and I just want to swatch them next to each other just so you can kind of see what they look like for comparison's sake. So the top one is going to be Dior, and I'm just going to kind of swatch the rest of them here. I pulled out the Pixie by Petra Glowy Gossamer Duo, and when I had all of these swatched on my arm, I actually forgot which one was Dior, because they all are beautiful. And I asked my boyfriend, I was like, which one of these swatches looks the most expensive? And he picked this one. He's like, I don't know, is that right? Was that the right thing? And I was like, there's no right or wrong answer. I just wanted to see your opinion. But he said this one looked the most expensive. So this one does have two separate highlighters in it. They're swatched right here. And in comparison to the Dior, you can see they are more intense. And these ones do look more like an intentional highlighter on your skin, but still very, very pretty and very, very shiny. So yeah, that's a really good option for a really nice drugstore highlighter. And then one of my all-time favorite highlighters, not just at the drugstore, just in general, is from Wet n Wild, and it's their Hello Halo Blush Lighter. This is the one called After Sex Glow. They did change the name of this one to I Met Someone, so if you're looking for this one now, it is now called I Met Someone. I have the 3 of these that they have in their regular line, and I love all of them, but this is my favorite one. And I thought this one would be really similar, at least this color here. I'm gonna swatch this one right next to the Dior one, just to kind of see how close it is. So that's Dior, this is Wet n Wild. Wet n Wild is definitely more on the glowier side, definitely more of a mirror finish there. And every time I use this one on my face, I feel like it looks like a mirror finish, but I love it. I love the way that it looks. But in comparison to Dior, you can see it is a little bit more of, you know, glowy and glossy, but still very, very similar. Very, very pretty too. I also pulled out this e.l.f. highlighter in the shade Rose Gold. It's one of these ones, these Baked Duos. This is also another one that is one of my all-time favorites. This one is intense though. It's an intense highlighter. If you want to be like wearing highlighter, this is the one for you. So that's the e.l.f. one there, that's Dior, and then just look at all these really beautiful highlighters. I mean, you don't need to spend $50 to get a really nice formula and a really nice highlight on your skin. And this one here is from e.l.f. I mean, look how similar it looks. It's just really, really pretty. And now that I'm looking at all of these, you can kind of see what kind of highlight that Essence one is. It's a lot more subtle. I really feel like it's more of a nice finishing powder, but there is the e.l.f. and in comparison to Dior, still really nice. I have one here from Milk Makeup. This is the Lit. Oh, this is the Flex Highlighter. The shade is called Lit. It's one of these here. This is one of my most underused highlights, and it's because of the tone. Just like the Dior one, it just has an undertone to it that on my skin can kind of look very obvious and like it's the wrong color, but it's still very, very pretty. This is one that I thought was going to be an exact dupe just because of the undertone. So that is the Milk Makeup right there, and that is Dior. I'm actually gonna get that Dior one and swatch it right next to the Milk one, just so we can compare a little closer. Dang, those look so similar. So that is a Milk Makeup, that is Dior right there. You can see the undertone on them is very, very similar, but as far as shine goes, Dior actually looks a little more intense than the Milk Makeup one, but still very, very, very pretty. Okay, so I don't see this on Sephora's website, but I do find it on the Milk Makeup website. They still sell it. It's $28. So $20 cheaper than the Dior one, and I feel very, very similar and a very wonderful formula. This is one of those ones too that you can't really see on your face. It somehow just melts into your makeup, and no matter how close you look up to your skin, you can't see powder sitting on your face. So this one is really lovely. And then the last one I have here is from Ciate. I feel like this is discontinued, which is a travesty. It is their highlighter in the shade Moondust. I am only mentioning this because it's a shop your stash moment. If you have this, you do not need a highlighter from Dior. This formula, just from the way that it looks and the swatches I've seen and the videos I've watched over the years, I feel like this was an identical dupe of the Dior highlighters that they used to have. Just everything about it makes me feel like it would have been exactly like Dior. It is one of my most beautiful highlighters I've ever purchased. There it is right there on my hand. So this is a shop your stash moment. If you already have Ciate's highlighter in Moondust, you do not need any highlighter from Dior. It is just absolutely stunning. I know it doesn't look like much in a swatch, but on the face, it will just make your whole day. It's amazing. So that is it. That is my take on the Dior highlighter in the shade, what was it? Nude Glow. Really pretty, beautiful formula, but if you already have a lot of highlighters, especially some of the ones that I mentioned and swatched today, you don't need this one. You don't need this one, but it is really beautiful. If you bought it, you wouldn't be disappointed with it. You know, you'll still love it. But an unnecessary luxury item, but you know, what are you gonna do? Sometimes we just have to buy the thing. But that is it. Let me know some of your favorite highlighters, some of the ones I mentioned today. Let me know what your opinion is on them. Let me know if you bought one of the Dior highlighters. I would love to know what you think. But that is it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And I will see you later in another video. Goodbye.